Okay, chuck it. Today is World Earth Day, you know that, right? Okay, so let's start it from the ground zero. Okay, zero given by India and all. So, so the population of Earth, so to say, right now, I've been told that all the statistics that I'm using for TED Talk has to be accurate. So I'm being a designer, I'm going for the approximation. We always have a limit for experimentation. So I'll just say over 7 billion people on Earth. Okay. Now, 1.3 billion हमारी देन है. Okay, it's our donation to the world population. We are very hardworking people. Now the fun part is, that was not the fun part, but thanks. The fun part is, if in case you understand that we have 1.3 billion people population of India from 1962, I'm calculating 1962 because that's the first time when a design institution was established in India. From 1962 to this particular day, we have not more than 10,000 designers in India, graduates, not more than that. I have the data from most of the universities, I'm still calculating, but let's say overall, 13,000 लोग से ज़्यादा designers हमारे भारत में अभी नहीं हैं, Indian design graduates. So when you calculate, actually for every one designer, we have 1 lakh people to cater. Okay, so why am I telling you this? Because I wanted to prove a point कि जब भी मेरी माँ बोलेगी कि मेरा बेटा लाखों में एक है, I was technical data. I'm sorry. Engineers are there, lawyers are there, management people are there. What shall we do? Because we have such a big population to cater, and just less than 13,000 people as designers. Okay, so for that we came up with the India Design Project. Now I'll initiate something. I'll initiate the whole discussion with after sharing something about me. Obviously, that's like like he explained Aurangabad in such a nice way. I cannot do my city and all. I belong to Jabalpur. It's a nice place. There's a Dhuandar Fall. You can go and down. Not a problem. So my design journey did not start like in institution. It started long back, as I feel. It started when my dad, who wanted to be an artist, was not allowed to be an artist because of that time. Parents used to think, artist does not have a life. So every day, when I was a school kid, every day we'll go for a walk. I used to go for a walk, and he used to work in power stations, so always around the forest. So my training in architecture or design started that time. So I started scribbling faces, and I was told how many types of ways we have to understand how to design or sketch a face. Then this particular seed, they are called copter seeds. I do not know whether you guys have seen it. They fall from the tree and they go like this and come down. Have you seen it? Yes, exactly. So the point was कि ये चीज़ बहुत पहले sketch बना के dad समझाते थे, things work like this, So इसको copter कहते हैं ऐसा. The same thing, what we'll do, we'll come back home and we'll design something like this. Okay, ये जो भी toy बोलते हैं इसको हाथ से घुमाते हैं, and then so we'll make it through cardboard and all, and it'll be fun. After that, those things on a regular basis I used to learn. Then I started studying architecture. I did my architecture from NIT Trichy. Then I worked in urban design department in SEP for some time, and also practiced as an architect. Then something went wrong with the D there, but it's Ahmedabad, and especially with the logo as well, yeah. So after that, I joined NID for studying photography design. Now, what happened with architecture was I was working extensively with vernacular architecture, craft people, and a lot of things, but I was somehow missing the part of documenting it. So I thought, let's learn how to document things. So my first project in photography was documenting the life of Homai Vyarawala. If those who know, she was the first female photojournalist of India. Then the second project that I did was a social project on denotified tribes, also known as criminal tribes. The third one was a loner project, kind of. I started walking from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, barefoot and document the things and stories in between. It was called Forgotten Fairy Tales. I was trying to collect all the stories which rural places had. The only thing we know about Dandi is Gandhiji. That's all we know. And so there must be a lot of other stories also. So that was my third project. Fourth was something because of which I actually enjoyed doctors' presentation. I tried learning how doctors do dissection, how they learn, how they, what are the things that they have to take care of. And that was my project. Memento Mori means remember your mortality. Same time, if you have seen all the artists and all, they used to keep skull in front of them, So like those things. So these were my projects. And then I started, after that, there was no stopping by. I was in photography design. I was going into product design, ceramic, and every possible discipline, trying to understand how things work. Then I went outside. Then suddenly I realized the same flower helicopter thing that I saw was some genius's inspiration to make first helicopter. Who's this thing? Whose design is this? Yeah. So I went to Italy and I suddenly realized that, there's already an intelligent guy, I'm not the first one to make sketches and show my dad. And dads and mom, they're always very happy after seeing your sketches, They're like, beta, tu hi hai. Original idea hai. And now me and my partner in business, we co-founded Chitrakosh and we document, we have 7-8 our own machines, cameras, drones. So we shoot projects like Bogeybill Bridge, which is the longest bridge on Brahmaputra. So from that copter to making toy, to seeing somebody else's inspiration, to owning those machines which I can do so much of documentation, this was my journey as a professional thing. Then I shifted to academia. After Trichy, SEB, again, academia. So I joined NID as a faculty trainee, and I tried to understand how more we can make design interesting. For me, it was so interesting journey. How we can make more enriching for the students, or my colleagues, or even the people who are practicing it. So what I did was very usual. I went through the books. I'm a voracious reader as well. So I went through all the books suggested by all my good teachers. But then I was not completely satisfied with the thing. Yes, these are selfies. I take selfies. Koi paap nahi hai. So what I started doing was, I was not satisfied with whatever I was going through books. I wanted to understand from the great teachers and the institutions. So I started going. The corner one is IIT Kharagpur, then IIT Mumbai, then ISDI, then Pune I'll go. And I'll meet students, I'll meet design educators, and I will ask them what exactly is needed. Then we also understood, a lot of places, not just design education, but the whole education needs to be redesigned somehow the other way. If instead of doing something great, if our students are actually committing suicide, that there's something wrong. So what we did is we thought, first thing, let's start with a collaborative library. So we started, I started a blog long back, where we had a page where whoever told me whatever book they told me on design, I'll put the name. But later what happened, when I started India Design Project, on that blog, I opened a collaborative page. So I'll mail all the design educators across India, and I'll ask them to send their favorite list of books. Be it Indian design or foreigner design or whatever design that you think of, any discipline of design. So they started sharing it. Then I started collecting data and materials from the historical places, people, and putting them on my blog. Is there any architecture student here? Wallah. Okay. Do you know Freoto? Yes. Oh wow, he is also. Okay. Freoto designed only 2 structures in India. Where are they? I can't see you, sorry. I'm just being very odd. Okay, it's okay. They both are in an idea. I don't want to make it like a quiz master thing. So the point is, me being an architecture student, I did not know about it. And that's a shame. So when I started figuring out a lot of things like this, I started putting them up on my blog. One of my professor, Praveen Nahar, he did a project with the Sabarmati jail in inmates where we actually taught them design thinking and how to create products out of such things, so that they can, once they leave the jail, they can actually create something good for them and their family. So such collaborative and such social design projects are the need of the hour. Then what we did is I started collecting the material, the old student publication, magazines from different universities, all the design universities in India, and all of them are available on my blog. Then I realized that it's very stupid that I'm collecting and putting it up. I have so much of resources, people. And the funny thing about Indian design is we actually act like a family. Literally, we act like a family. It's a very small family. You ask anything to anybody, they never say no. So I started asking people, not just the legends also, but the people who are initiating a journey right now and what they think. If there's somebody's trying to make a change, how they want to take it ahead so that others can connect. So these are the guest bloggers. We got fortunate, we have two amazing guest bloggers from outside India also. They are one of the best design thinkers. Then we took some other initiative on women in design. I wanted to know how women in design are acting right now. What are the things that they feel we should change in design? So we worked on that blog. Then on Insta we keep sharing things. Then we started connecting with groups like Design for Change. How things are working towards a better cause. Then you go to different places. Then we shared the same thing on Pune Design Festival on how things can emerge, how we can collaborate. Fortunate enough to be a part of What's Next, Pearl Academy Conference on Design Education. We are collecting data, we are collaborating, we are collecting all the resources and sharing with people, but then there's nothing happening on ground. And yesterday, 24th or 23rd of March, Stanford Education, they released a paper which says that a lot of things are on paper and they become a sense of a way of awareness rather than the action. So let's do some action. What the inspiration came from these two kids. They are the son of Kabadi Wala near my house. So I told them one day I told them a friend of mine was setting animation guy and I was telling this kid what is animation. And the other kid, the girl, she wanted to know what is architecture, what do I do. I shared a little bit of sketches with them, and next day they came up with this structure. And he was showing me a flip book, and she was showing me this structure made of cardboard, wasted cardboard. Now, we wanted to do something back. So the question again comes to what shall we do? It should change to what shall we do with more than 65% population under the age of 35. And do remember one thing, that all this younger thing, education, our younger generation thing and all, will subside, in next 40, 50 years, and all the oldies will have entirely different set of design necessities in India. Oh, this is a bunch of monks which I met in Sikkim, and they actually, got me a perspective of social design. Oh, I asked them, I wanted to be monk sometime in my life, and it would have been so nice, I would be meditating somewhere. There's peace in my head, there's nobody troubling me, I might float in the air after 15 minutes, there's so much of fun I'll have. So they said, no, you can't be. So I got a little disappointed, but I kept talking to them. Then the guy and the gentleman in the center, he said, is culture design? I was like, yes, it is very much. So then he said, is religion a design? I said, it's one of the amazing system design, So yes, of course. Then he looked not at me, his friend, like, we are designers. So I cannot be more, but they are designers. From there, I actually got a thought that, okay, let's do something about it, where each and everybody among us understand that we are designers. So when we talk about designer, 10 minutes back when I started, obviously not 10 minutes back. So I told there are 2 designers only in the room right now. But in reality, the room is full of designers. Each and everybody among you has something or the other role that has to be played. Design does not mean the 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional creation of some form or some color, some theory. Design means implicating policies, creating policies, participating in things. So we started connecting with industries, design schools, studios, NGOs, craft sectors, common man of course, designers and design students. So what we want right now is the Indian design family to grow from 30,000 to 1.3 billion. All of us will have to collaborate, connect. Not everything is possible when we do it all alone. If I start to initiate a project, just like Doctor was saying, I was talking to Doctor some time back, that you were appreciating the tools designed by engineers and designers. How we can take this thing ahead. Now he has an idea. If he'll share something with designers, he cannot do it alone. I need people from ICE, I need people from mechanical, electrical to come together and create things. So that is where the real Indian design family will turn up. So I think it's almost ending, so don't worry, like, it's really. So we need to be prepared for a social environment which holds a plural definition of diversity, development, and growth. We need to cater each and every person in India, so to say we should cater everybody on earth, be it differently challenged or old, young, every possible genre, discipline, job, or whatever. For that, we need a plural definition of design that is designed for each and every sector. It's a high time that government should take special interest into this and try to infiltrate design slowly but steadily into all the possible sectors for its betterment. And the last thing, okay, that's the thing where we thought of when we collect the data, democratize the data. Okay, so whatever we will collect, we'll share it with everybody. But at the same time, you have all the right to tell me what is right, what is wrong. Well, there's a saying that until unless lions start writing their own history, stories will always appreciate the hunters, right? So the same thing goes with the history as well. Somebody who writes it has a perspective, but when I open it to all of you, you have all right to say and change it and to make it right. So it was initiated by, the thought was initiated by one of our gurus, Ranjan. Then we are very lucky now that across India, people are sending the old designers or architects. They're sending us their data material to us to keep with us, and we scan those things. We share it on platform. We want to compile it together on a safe place so that it can be shared with every community, every university, every college, every student, every common man who is interested to understand how Indian design actually started. And that's where this project is called Kahania. Then you guys can see this thing on our Instagram and blog. And very soon we'll be coming up with our online portal, which will be a collaborative platform for engineers, doctors, businessmen, students, common people. You can throw up a project, whatever you feel like, as a designer or as an engineer, and we'll try to connect with you with the people who actually would like to collaborate with you and create something for India. Thank you so much.